Lucia has joined DfID in 2001, has got a lot of experience working in different countries from Russia, Ghana and Afghanistan, and actually was the head of DfID in Iraq until recently, and is now overseeing the Busan team at DfID.
Thank you very much. So I'm the current head of the Busan team in DfID. We're about 10 people across DfID in lots of different policy teams, and I've been leading this team for the last couple of months, so coming in quite a late stage. You were to have Richard Calvert today, our Director General, but unfortunately Richard can't make it, so you've got me instead, and I hope to be able to answer your questions, but if I can't, I'll point you in the direction of the right person. I've been asked to say a couple of things. One on our work on the kind of Busan content, and the other on the process leading up to and including Busan. So on content, as some of you will be aware, the Secretary of State's got four policy priorities that he wants to focus on at Busan. And number one for him is results, and I'll say a bit more about that in a minute. Number two is transparency, and as you know, obviously he's been very involved in IRT. And number three is fragility. And then his fourth policy area is not so much an area that is going to be part of the outcome document, but it's more about the process, which is looking at how we can help to engage emerging economies and middle-income countries going forward. And in terms of the three policy areas of results, transparency and fragility, we've been working with lots of other countries on the building blocks in these areas, and I'm sure that many of you will be aware of these voluntary initiatives. And we've been leading on the results building block. And this building block is led by us, but we're working with a coalition involving Rwanda, Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, the US, Sweden, Germany, Denmark and the Netherlands. And what we'll be looking to do at Busan is to agree as a group to take forward a number of things on results. Most importantly, work on developing results compacts. And these would enable monitoring of partner country performance and also donor delivery. The indicators for the results compacts would be partner country led. And if you would like to look at the results building block paper, then it's on the portal. On transparency, this is a building block which is being led by the World Bank and Sweden, but we've been working quite closely with them. And we'd like to see language in the outcome document that commits to making detailed information available in a timely manner. And we've been working on a building block which includes reference to perhaps IRT as a common standard, or some of you will know that there is obviously discussions going on about which might be a common standard. On fragility, as many of you will know, again, the International Dialogue on Peace Building and State Building has agreed peace building and state building goals for fragile states, and they'll be presented as part of the New Deal for international engagement in fragile states in Busan. And we have been working with Australia, Timor-Leste and a number of other countries on the building block for fragility. On those three areas, from the process side, we would like the Secretary of State to be engaged in all of the plenary sessions on those areas, as well as on side events as well. So for us, it's quite an important part of preparing him for Busan to make sure that he's able to support those sessions where he can. For further detail on the work in those three areas, I would put you in touch with our experts in those three areas if anybody's interested in hearing a bit more. On emerging powers, Secretary of State's very keen that we engage countries like China and Brazil and South Africa and India in working together more closely going forward. And we'd quite like to see those delegations being led by high-level representatives. And we will be working through the Sherpa Committee to try to work out a way, as Brenda referenced, about working out what does the we mean in the document, and in what capacity would emerging powers be endorsing the document or parts of the document. I think we're still working on that, still at an early stage in deciding how we get that, and I think the meeting on Friday in Paris with the Sherpas will be meeting will hopefully move that discussion along quite a lot. We've still got a lot of interest in other areas, gender, food security, procurement, etc., etc., etc. But those areas that I've outlined are the ones where we're kind of putting most of our effort in the run-up to, and where the Secretary of State will focus his time when he is there. In terms of the process, obviously, as I've said, Secretary of State will lead the UK delegation. He's quite energised by Busan, and he's very much looking forward to it, has quite high expectations. And he has asked for regular updates in the next 4 weeks, got to see him twice a week, etc., etc. So we will certainly be very busy. Our lead official is Richard Calvert. He's the Director General of our Finance and Corporate Performance Division, and there'll probably be about between 10 and 12 of us officials there at Busan. Richard is on the Sherpas drafting committee, and we as the UK are representing Nordic countries, but also Australia, Canada and New Zealand. So we've got a job this week to make sure that we can bring together all of their comments so that we can represent them appropriately on Friday and on the 18th as well. So that's obviously quite a job. And I think that's all I wanted to say, just to underline that a lot of effort over the next few weeks will go into preparing both the content but also the kind of choreography of the event. And I do sympathise with Brenda, because I can imagine that it's a huge job to get all of this together. We'd also be very interested to hear from you on your comments, because obviously we're thinking about engaging over the next few weeks, so quite interested to hear your thoughts today. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Lucia. Funny, the